Hi, I'm Scott, and this week I'm going to talk a little bit about Vata dosha, balancing Vata dosha, but particularly how some modern understandings about the neurochemical neurotransmitter oxytocin is a very important insight into what really makes it work. So for those of you that are not that familiar with Ayurvedic medicine, Vata dosha refers to something that you could most easily associate with the nervous system. But it's not limited to that because the word Vata is actually cognate with the word for wind in Sanskrit, and wind is defined by movement. So Vata dosha is regulating all of the circulations in the body, all of the movements in the body, including the movement of thought and the movement of the limbs, circulation, movement of the neurological impulses. And so it's a very brilliant theory in the sense that it generally is creating an image that when something's really dynamic, the most beneficial or stable state for that dynamism to be in for the human organism is rhythm. And that's because rhythm is the most stable configuration of something that's inherently unstable by virtue of its movement. So the general idea from the Ayurvedic perspective is to have a good rhythm in the way that you rest, eat, and that you're active. And these are the three primary ways that we adapt to life, is through resting, eating, and being active in some way. When our bodies are rested, fed, and exercised in a rhythm, the whole system will calm down. And that's really the idea behind stress management and the basis of preventing a lot of the diseases that have their roots in what you could call stress, is that you cultivate the capacity to balance, ground, and center. And the key to that from the Ayurvedic perspective is to have a good rhythm in your activities. Now, in terms of the oxytocin principle and why it's so important is that oxytocin is sometimes called the cuddle hormone. It's a neurotransmitter that's very, very closely linked to feeling safe and secure, to feeling connected to your environment or the people in your environment. And so some of the modern research about how we can do this is, one thing is to be touched and to be loved, to actually receive hugs and those kind of things. But we can't always have somebody to cuddle with, although that's an excellent thing. And that would include even racier forms of cuddling like sex being really good for oxytocin. But for generating ways to be able to balance or promote oxytocin on your own are extremely useful. And so here's a few ideas. One is actually self-massage, and this is a big part of Ayurveda as well. And you can be intuitive, but one of the things that creates oxytocin is actually light touch massage. It often goes along with stimulating lymphatic circulation. If you combine light touch massage with some kind of positive internal reminder that you're there for yourself, that you're connected to yourself, that will enhance that as well. Another one that I think is really basic and obvious is get warm. Get yourself feeling cozy. Warm clothing, even clothing that feels a little bit heavy and snug and makes you feel held, is a great way to promote oxytocin as well. Singing will do it. Singing, the recommended dosage scientifically is 20 minutes of singing. And so that's another interesting one. And lastly is just getting enough rest in general. And the last video that I put up was about this beautiful midday relaxation rejuvenation technique, and that's really, really profound for also balancing oxytocin levels. So the key there is that oxytocin provides that extra level of not only feeling grounded and balanced, but feeling loved and secure, and that you can't separate the neurological benefit from the emotional quality, because they're really two parts of the same system, and it has profound influence on your entire body. So I hope that's helpful, and take care.